It's Chris Cicchinelli. Welcome to Hit High Intensity Tactics for Growth. And today, we're talking about being amazing. That's right, being amazing. Living is more than just keeping your heartbeat and a roof over your head. That's one of the biggest things I think about when you're an entrepreneur. There's way more possibilities, and yes, it's worth going after it each and every day. I mean, think about that. In being amazing and being, this person that wants to go out there and having these characteristics and traits that are going to all bubble up to this as an entrepreneur. When we look back and saying, okay, I want to be daring with my business. I'm going to do things that nobody else really wants to do. I'm tired of just like showing up, kind of going through the motions. I always think that most daring people are the ones that are wanting to go out there and kind of challenge this whole thing of status quo, just trying to get by each and every day. I don't want a roof over my head. I want several roofs over my head. I want to make sure that my actions are not only those of daring actions, but also deliberate. Life is a kind of a series of choices, right? We got to have these choices that come in front of us each and every day. The choice to sleep in, the choice to wake up, the choice to work out, the choice not to work out. These are all deliberate actions that give us these steps that lead us to that promised land of being amazing, that land of, hey, I want more for my life. I just don't want to be just like everybody else. I see too many people that are kind of going through the proverbial motions with their job, their business, with their kids, with their friends. And I think in being this person, this entrepreneur that people are going to buy into, because you heard me talk in the couple podcasts prior to this, was people don't buy products anymore. People buy people, and people really buy those more amazing type of personalities, right? So when you look at it, it's like, how can you be deliberate with your choices in the job today, the opportunity that you possess today, the product that you sell today? And let's think about this. How many of you guys made the choice when you woke up this morning that, today was going to be your day. You were going to win this day. You weren't going to sit back and worry about what other people had to say, what other people had to, put impressions upon you. You weren't sitting back worrying about, oh, hey, listen, I just want to get through it because this is a hump day and, it's Wednesday or it's Tuesday. No. How many of you just said, I'm going to own this day. This day is my day. And I know a lot of people sit back and go, well, it's so hard when, Chris, I don't feel successful. I don't feel that I'm being amazing. Well, that's the difference of a freaking entrepreneur. An entrepreneur that's going to be successful is going to wake up and be deliberate about their actions, saying, first thing, hey, it's going to be my day. I'm going to win it. Next thing is, what do I need to do to be successful today? I need to make sure that I'm making my phone calls. I need to make sure that I'm working out. I need to make sure that I'm networking. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because these are all series of choices that I see too many people not make or not own. And therefore, they get back and they say, gosh, I'm not getting ahead. I'm not seeing any progress. Well, a lot of it is this. You choose every single direction that your life takes. You do. The biggest currency in life is choice. It's not money. And these choices that you make, you have to sit back and say, how do I take advantage of the choice that I made today, the people that I talked to, the time and effort that I put into my business? It's amazing when I see people out there and they go, gosh, I'm just not getting ahead. And that first thing I said is, what did you choose today? Did you choose to tell yourself that story? Or did you choose to tell yourself a different story? Like, yeah, today might be tough, but I'm going to continue to keep moving forward. I'm going to continue to keep doing what I need to do so that I can be an amazing entrepreneur, amazing business owner. The other thing too is you got to stop doing everything by the freaking book. So many people think that there's this path or this simplistic way of getting things done. And when you look at it, it's about being understanding. It's about making sure that when you're walking and you're waking up in the morning, that you're not going to sit back and do everything that everybody else is doing. Here's what most people do. They wake up, they roll over, they grab their phone. Next thing they do is they're sitting in bed and they're going through Instagram, they're going through Facebook, they're going through their emails. That's what everybody else is doing. So you can make that choice to do the exact same thing that they are, or you can make the choice to jump out of bed and say, you know what? Hey, it's time for me to start drafting my own version of my story, my own chapters today, and I'm going to get up. I'm going to get moving. I understand that motion creates emotion. I know that today is my day to win because yesterday is over. Yesterday is a thing in the past. And when you are a business owner or an entrepreneur that wants to be amazing and wants to go out there and be deliberate with their actions and wants to actually win, you also need to understand it's about being aware. Okay? It's about being aware also, all right? Figuring out what you value. Did you value to get up this morning with a different mindset? Did you value to take care of your biggest asset, which is yourself? Did you feel like, hey, is it necessary to change and align with your life and the values that you put in front of it? What was it? Do you value going out and making money today? I mean, that are you aware of these situations that to live and to be an entrepreneur and to be successful and to do this is, hey, these are choices that you got to make each and every day. I talk to people all the time and like, oh, well, Chris, I'm working, so many hours. I'm like, well, how many hours are you working? Are you really aware of the time that you're putting in? Are you just telling yourself the story that you're working all the time? Are you just so busy? I was driving my eldest to school today, and my eldest goes to me and goes, Dad, I am not that concerned about my grades. I know you're so concerned, but I'm going to be famous. And if I'm famous, I don't need to worry about getting a B in math. I don't need to worry about a C+ in science. And I said, well, let me make sure you understand this. Why is it that you don't believe that you need to worry about math and you need to worry about science? Well, because Dad, I don't really like those and they're not going to help me with my career anyway. Whoa, pump the brakes. It's not about you being good at math. It's not about you being good at art or science or whatever. It's about the processes of understanding that you should tackle everything that you want in life with the same vigor, the same intensity, the same level of awareness that, hey, listen, I know that these things are going to be hard in my life. I know that science and math and English and all these subjects aren't easy, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you start picking and choosing what you're going to be good at and what you're not going to be good at, then you're going to find yourself down this path of always, I'll do this, but I won't do that. Or I'll do this piece of the project because it's easier, it's simpler, it's what I like to do. And therefore, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to gravitate to the easier pieces that make it simple for you and make it easier for you to get by. And you're going to sit back and go, the other stuff, it's too hard. It's too much of my time. I'm working so hard. No, you got to stop with that attitude of that everything in life that you do that is hard is going to be passed off to somebody else to do for you. That's not going to work. The people that make the most amount of money, the people that do the best in business are the people that are going to push through the things that are uncomfortable, the things that are hard. Look, I became a millionaire because I did not sit back and do the comfortable activities. What I found is that most people wanted to do the comfortable activities. And I had a better understanding that I sat back and said, gosh, everybody over here wants to gravitate to these simpler projects, the more, linear, more step-by-step projects. But you know what? It seems like they're not really getting ahead. But these people over here that I'm watching, gosh, man, they're making massive amounts of money. They're uberly successful, but it looks like it's really difficult and it's really hard. And instead of me choosing what I liked, I liked other things because they were a lot simpler, a lot easier. I didn't have to waste my time and go out there and learn more vigorous information. I could go down the path of saying, hey, I want this because it's an easier and simpler way, and then I could more time to go play softball or more time to go play golf or more time to whatever. But that's not how you're going to be an entrepreneur. That's not how you're going to be amazing with your business. And that's what I told LC this morning. I said, El, you have to do the things that you don't want to do, the things that are hard, the things that are going to stretch you, because at the end of the day, that's the stuff that's going to make you amazing. Because if you can do the other things and it's simple, can you imagine making the hard tasks simpler? Because it's more about the completion of those tasks. It's more about the progress. It's not about being perfect at that, because I don't believe in perfect. I do believe in progress. And if you could do this, you're going to do and outpace everybody in your class in your college and in your career. And that's what I want more than anything for you. Now, you have to think also, you've got to be aware, right? I think in life, if you're going to be amazing, yeah, okay, I can understand that I'm not going to do everything by the book. I have the pen. I'm going to start crafting my own stories, right? Figure out what you value and make the changes to align that with your life. Now, I told LC, you might not like math, right? Okay, great. You might not like these topics, but that doesn't mean you give up. That doesn't mean you stop and throw in the towel, because you're not going to need those when you're famous, or better yet, that's the stuff I hear from employees. I don't need to do that because I'm going to do a different path, and that's really where my money's going to come from. I would tell you that is a terrible idea, because that means, again, that you're going to pick and choose the things that are going to make you successful. Figure out what you value and make the changes to align to your life. I think that's one of the biggest things, is what is it that you value? What is it that you're trying to accomplish by being an entrepreneur today? You woke up, you're going to win this day. You told yourself, hey, listen, I have the pen. I'm writing my own chapters. I'm going to stay very, very mindful about what it is and why is it so important. I think too many people have this kind of work hard, play hard, work smarter, play smarter, repeat mentality that are successful. The successful people say, yep, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to work smart, I'm going to play smart, and I'm going to do that all over again. And when they do that, those are the things that they start looking at and say, if you value a lifestyle money can bring, then work, right? And work with passion, work with vigor. That's one of the biggest things that I valued right away. Was I want to be successful, but more than anything, I valued not being poor. I valued that I was the person that wanted to go out there and want to make more money. I want to be able to have a better lifestyle for my family. I want to be able to, when I walk down the streets, that or going into a network meeting or going into business, that I knew that I was never going to be the MBA from Harvard. I didn't go to Yale. I didn't go to some prestigious college. So I knew that what I valued this whole thing about success. I did treat success like it's a family member before I came out in Grant Cardone's book about, you got to value success like it's your fourth family member. Yeah, absolutely. But I was valuing that way before that somebody told me that. And I think that leads to success. I think what he says is absolutely 100% accurate. Because that was one of my core values of growing up, is that I wanted that success. I was aligned with it. I was aligned that I was going to work as hard as I possibly could. I was going to put as much effort and time in. When everybody was out at the bars or everybody was out at the clubs on Fridays and Saturdays nights, I was absolutely constructing what was going to happen that week, the next week, the week after, and I was very methodical. Those are my values. My values were I was putting success well over fun and all of the going out, and I was really looking at it saying, hey, I value this other than going out there and even at some point having personal relationships. Now, some people might think, God, that's insane, or that's crazy, or that's whatever. But I was like, no, I'm dedicated to this thing about success. Now, along the way, I had the relationships building. I had the people I started contacting. I knew, though, that I had to be aware of all the things that were happening around me. I had to be deliberate with my actions, because if I want to go out and be successful and make money, I needed to be deliberate. I need to pick up the phone. I need to make way more phone calls than everybody else was. I needed to make sure that I was traveling way more than everybody else. I was meeting my sales teams way more than anybody else. I knew that I needed to do that, because what every meeting, every phone call, and every time I traveled led to was me being more and more confident in the direction that I was heading in. And if you want to be amazing in business and in life and whatever, it's going to lead with all of the things that you put on your values scope. And as the more deliberate that you are, and the more that you start understanding the people, you start understanding your products, you understand the pitch that you're given, because you're making the phone calls, you're making 10 times, 20 times more than anybody else. That's where this confidence is going to come in. And that confidence is going to lead you to this part about being amazing. There are people out there who won't support what you're doing. And who cares? Who cares that they don't support what you're doing? Who cares that they're like, man, why aren't you coming to the bar? You're really so tied up in your business. This whole thing about work-life balance. Well, I'll tell you, that's a bunch of bullshit, because at the end of the day, you're going to look for this thing that's called balance, right? It's right next to the Easter Bunny and the Fountain of Youth. It is absolute bullshit, because most of the people in the world today are sitting back going, man, I don't understand why you're working this hard. Because you know why? Because they don't have a vision. They don't see farther than what's 4 feet in front of them. Us that are valuing this whole thing about success and being an entrepreneur and being able to live life on our own terms, see, we get to trust ourselves, right? We trust that we know where we're going. And then we ultimately say, hey, listen, and not in a bad way, and I don't want to come across this, but when you start trusting yourself more, what you're going to find that you're trusting others' opinions a lot less. Because what you're going to see is that is the big thing, is that is a driving force of confidence. That whole thing about being confident is gaining it for yourself first. You have to get it, and it's going to be by picking up the phone. It's going to be by being deliberate with your communication. All of that stuff is important. But here's what happens. We start worrying about other people's opinions of what we should be doing, and we start looking at their views of what it is to be amazing. You got to stop blowing yourself off. We get upset when others are blowing off our ideas, but we have no problem doing it to ourselves. So if you know you're heading down that right path, and you know that you are, don't blow yourself off. No, I'm going to stay in tonight. No, I'm going to write my new sales techniques tonight. I'm going to write new scripts tonight, because I want to change up the way that maybe my communication is to my clients. I might want to change up the way my social media videos are looking, or my social media posts are. But you know what? But you do this to yourself, where you stop listening to the most important person in the whole equation, and you start listening to these other people. And that is a problem. Other people have no idea what's best for you. They have no clue what's best for you. Stop seeking their validation. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I see too many people that want to be a business owner, but they want to listen to the 5,000 people that are surrounding them. Why? What the shit do they know that you don't know? I think you got to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the people and listening to people that have the same values of you. If you have friends that you're listening to that are out at the club every night, or at the bar every night, or working for somebody else, they have no idea what it is to be an entrepreneur. They have no idea what it is to be a business owner, and yet you give them the time. Why? Why do you do that? You do that because nobody has ever told you to stop. Well, here it is today. It's high intensity tactics. Stop listening to them, because they're not going to get you to where you need to be. That is the truth. That is why I'm sitting here today, is I had to understand that my friends, I loved them. It wasn't that I wanted to give up on friendship. It wasn't that I didn't value them, but I knew that those were not the people that I was going to listen to if I wanted to be successful in business. They were the greatest people to go out to if I wanted to have a beer, or if I wanted to grab go out for the evening and grab dinner, have conversations about what was going on in sports or what was going on in politics, but they were not going to be the people that were going to help me get to the finish line of being amazing, being successful in my business. But you got to also be lighthearted, right? The world is not judging you as much as you think. That's the big thing I had to learn. I always thought people are judging me. These people are, they don't understand, so they're judging me. They're looking at me differently. Most people are too wrapped up in themselves to notice anyway. Most of my friends I thought were judging me, or the people I thought were kind of like, oh gosh, he's just selling relationship enhancement. It's not really business. I was telling myself that story, and that was so funny that you become this artist or this writer of bullshit to yourself. And what I will tell you is, what I figured out more than anything is the impressions I thought other people were putting on me were only my impressions. Most people have their own issues they're going through. They have their own problems. That's why I say the only person that matters in the equation is yourself. The only person that matters to anything of this is yourself. Yes, you're going to read a bunch of books. Yes, you're going to listen to a bunch of podcasts. Yes, you're going to gather a bunch of information. Drop the pride. Have a little bit of fun. Have a little bit of fun, because what you have to understand, the world is not judging you as much as you think they are. They're just not. Okay, if you were in a line today and you're at a restaurant, take a look. Hell, take a look at the airport. Take a look at anything you're at. Most people aren't even looking up anymore. anymore. So they're not even looking at you. They're looking down at their cell phones. We're in a world that is so self-absorbed that they don't care about you. So in a world that doesn't really give a shit about you or doesn't care about you, what I will tell you is that's why it's even more important that you build yourself up. That's why it's even more important that you have this thing that's called confidence, this thing that you start building in. That's why being deliberate in the morning and say, today is going to be a great day. I'm going to win this day. Because if you're looking for this from anybody else, it's not going to be there, and you're going to be constantly disappointed. You're going to be constantly searching for it, and therefore you're going to be worried more about acceptance than actual progress. And that's what I see too much with these business owners that are coming out. And that's why when you look at HIT, a lot of people are like, why is it high intensity? Because here's the thing, anything that you want in life, you have to put ultimate commitment in it. If you want to be great at being a soccer player, then kick a freaking lot of soccer balls. If you want to be great at free throw shooting, then shoot a lot of free throws. If you want to be great at math, do a lot of math problems. But everything that you do to be amazing also leads back to this thing that's called passion. You got to have passion. Having passion is unbelievable. Having good intentions doesn't yield the results, right? Get off your rear and make things happen. I love the fact when I see new people get into the business and they say, what's the number one thing that will lead to my success? And I always say the number one thing is being passionate about what it is that you do, right? Why do I say that? Is because the most successful people that I've witnessed in business are the most desperate. So you could pretty much say desperate and passionate have a lot of same similarities to them. And therefore, when you are absolutely desperate or you're passionate, you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to do whatever it takes to get by. And that is exactly what I did each and every day. I was passionate about going out and being successful, passionate about making money, passionate about also in the beginning, that was all about making money and being successful. I'll be honest with you. But over the time period, as I started seeing myself change and I started seeing my confidence growing and I started being more careful and deliberate with my actions, my other thought was I was also being passionate about changing other people's lives, because what I saw as I was starting to scale my business, that I couldn't do it by myself. I had to be passionate about what I did, but I had to transfer that passion. I had to transfer the desperation and let people know that, look, in life, you're going to need to start putting money away. If you're waiting for Social Security, you're waiting for things to happen for your life, you better quit thinking that they're going to be there. You gotta make some changes in your life, because I started meeting more and more people through my journey that had no money, not a pot to piss in, not a window to throw it out of. And I'm like, man, I'm passionate about being successful. I'm passionate about making money. I'm doing both right now. And I'm seeing this world that's not following in tow. I knew they weren't, right? If everybody would do it, then we'd all be the same. Most people talk about wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to own and operate their own business. Most people I find don't want to do this, or they don't want to do the actions that they need to do this. That's the difference. That's the difference maker, man, is being passionate, being excited. And I want to transfer that passion to other people. Other people is who I want to passion. So yes, I want to make money and do all that, but then my passion became, if I want to scale my business, how do I instill that same passion, that same desperation, that same knowledge into others so they could get out what they wanted for that business? And then if they became passionate and they became that, they started treating success different and they started making money, guess what's going to happen? Other people are going to see how they're living, and then they're going to do the same thing. They're going to get from that point of, I want to make my own money, then I'm going to see, I got to scale my business. I'm going to go find other people that are like me, or that I can instill this whole thing about being passionate into their life. Be alive. Perhaps one of the greatest goals we can seek for ourselves is exhilaration. Are you exhilarated by your life? In 20 years, will you be more disappointed by what you didn't do than by what you did do? And I think when I look at people all the time, I'm like, man, go out there, attack it, be alive, man, live, go do some things, go have some fun. If it's going to different conferences, if it's going to, meeting different people, get out there and make sure that you're being alive. Be relentless with what it is. You don't need to love yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to understand that there is nothing in life that you cannot get, or nothing in life that you can't go afterwards. You've got to make sure that you don't quit. You got to constantly be relentless. And it's not about maybe. I tell people all the time, it's about be, baby. It's about making sure that you be out there, you do the things that are going to lead you to being amazing. And that's the most important thing. Be amazing each and every day. Wake up, pound that chest, and say, today is going to be a great day. Own it. Be confident. Be daring. Be relentless. Be alive, and make sure more than anything, when you're out there, you're passionate about what it is. You're lighthearted. You're going to take off the day. You're going to take on the day. You're not going to blow it off. You're going to continue to work hard each and every day. You're going to play hard. You're going to work smart, play smart. Repeat that. It's Hit. Chris Cicchinelli. Have a great day. High intensity tactics for growth. I can't wait till our next time.